Hello, and welcome to Old Toy, New Joy, the show where I share with you my previously enjoyed toys I purchased from online sources, thrift stores, and collector's shows that once belonged to someone else. Today I thought it would be fun to talk about a couple of large action figures from the 1970s. Steve Austin from the $6 Million Man, and Zorak from Big Jim. So let's talk about this figure first. The $6 Million Man was a television show which ran from 1973 to 1978. It spawned a couple of movies and a spin-off series called The $6 Million Woman. And this was about the adventures of a fictional astronaut named Steve Austin, who, after a near-fatal crash, underwent secret government surgery which left him half cyborg, half human, with bionic powers. And the show was extremely popular. I'm watching reruns right now because they're available again, and I'm enjoying it. And so Kenner produced their first Steve Austin action figure in 1975. And this is the original from 1975. They came out with a couple more versions over the next few years, and a couple of play sets, and some other characters like Oscar Goldman and some villains. I bought mine about a year and a half ago at a collector's show for $30, which I thought was a great deal. And right now we're going to take a look and see what he came with and what he does. So let's take a look at my action figure. So he's 13 inches tall. And let's take a look at his arm here. This is his right arm, which is a bionic arm. Originally, the arms were covered in a thin, rubbery skin that you would peel back, which would reveal these interchangeable bionic elements. And these are microchip looking pieces which were commonly lost, and so I was very happy to find them intact on this figure. People right now online are selling them for as much as $50 a piece. So I'm not going to pick these out, but I know they do come out fairly easily. Also, in the back of Steve's head is a little hole, and it goes all the way to his eye, which was supposed to be bionic as well. That's why there's a hole there in his eye socket, and you can actually look through that eye. And I've done that. I've looked through the hole, through the eye, and it actually makes things smaller. I thought it was going to be a magnifying glass of some sort, but it makes things look even smaller to me. And finally, there's a really cool feature with this doll that if you see if I can do this. It came with an engine block and a handle originally, which I do not have. And that also goes for a premium online. But I'm just going to put this old Jeep from probably around the same time period in his hand. And I'm going to turn his head to the right. His right. And there's a trigger on his back. And I'm going to start pressing the trigger. And you'll see he's lifting. Apparently he can lift up to 2 pounds, so I haven't tested that. He'll lift the item all the way up with his bionic arm. And then when I turn his head back to the left, he releases it. And his outfit is a tracksuit based on the pilot episode of the series. And my figure did come with the jacket. However, it was very shredded. It did not look as nice as this. And so for $30 online, which is more than I usually spend on my own shirts, I purchased an original, this shirt for him, which is in good shape. Here's the track pants. And originally he came with socks, but I made these socks from gloves from the dollar store just to give him something to wear. And these are his original shoes, which also demand a premium online. And they can be hard to find as they were easily lost. So let's talk about this guy. Big Jim was a toy line by Mattel, which ran from 1971 to about 1980, I believe. And there was many different characters and figures and series. It was an adventure-like figure, sports, outdoors, camping, things like that. And then in 1976, they came up with the Pack series, which was more of a secret agent kind of theme. And this was the main villain, Zorak. And so this figure here is from 1976. And I purchased Zorak at a thrift store about 5 years ago. I think he was $7, and I didn't know what he was. I was not familiar with Big Jim. I had never seen this figure before, but I knew he was from the 70s and very interesting and worth purchasing. And so I did, and then I started to look up and see what he was all about. And I've never seen a Big Jim accessory or figure or anything since then. So I think they're pretty rare. So let's take a look at my Zorak figure here. He is 10 inches tall. He has flexible, posable, rubber-covered arms, but the rest of his body is a hard plastic. These are his original pants, which are in good shape. There's a couple small holes. Unlike Steve Austin, he did not originally come with socks, but he's got these boots. I'm not going to try to pull these boots off because they don't come off very easily, which is actually a good thing. It's probably the only reason they were intact. And also like the Steve Austin figure, he has a very interesting feature which involves a trigger or a button on his back. And also his right arm. When you raise and lower his right arm and then push the button on his back, his face changes to the more evil Zorak. And then to change his face back, do the same. Raise and lower that right arm, push the button on the back, and back to the mustache face. Pretty cool. And he originally came with a cape, which again, online, if you can find it, I rarely see them on there, you can easily demand up to $50. I did not have the cape, did not come with the cape, but my daughter Marshmallow made me a reproduction cape, which looks very similar to the original. Let's tuck that in. Nope. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Old Toy New Joy. If you liked it, please like the video and we'll keep them coming. Until next time, this is your Toy Whisperer saying goodbye.